Okay. Do you guys remember what happened last time?
Yeah, we wrecked a cabin with legs and a witch bitch.
I got blown up.
Bitch.
That's true. That's all true. So last time you guys, well, 2 times ago, you killed the horrific sorceress Baba Lysaga. And then in the last session, her hut came alive and attacked the shit out of you guys and almost TPK'd all of you. That was pretty close, you guys. But you managed to survive by the skin of your teeth, which I really don't know how much skin on teeth Kane really has left.
We survived by the feathers of my owl.
The feathers of your owl. By the fur on your bootay. By the way, say hi to Ace, everybody.
Hi, Ace.
Say hi to everyone, Ace.
He's so handsome.
Yes, look. He hates this. Okay.
He's so mad.
And yeah, so you guys barely survived, but you did survive. Now, you found a few things, and some interesting things have happened. So I just want to give you guys a recap of all the things that have gone on and all the different things that you have to sort of mess around with at your disposal in this location. So firstly, you have found, so right now, as you are standing inside of the crisp hut that has just recently been doused of its fire, you can feel the smoke filling up the cabin. It's only like a 15 square foot cabin. It's pretty small. So the smoke is filling up the entire space. You all are coughing. Laura is coughing. I haven't told you her name yet, have I?
Shit, no.
Shit.
No. It's Jenny's sister.
It was Jenny's sister.
We know that. Yeah.
You knew Jenny's sister. You will probably find out her name. So Jenny's sister, maybe Jenny's sister. I mean, still allegedly. The woman in the bolted to the ceiling. I've just been talking with Joel about it a lot. So
Yes,
Laura was top of mind.
That's not bad.
She's been coughing and starting to lose to go in and out of consciousness. She's still strapped there. And there's also the whole cabin is filled with like things that you guys look like they might be in a normal home. There's a desk, there's a dresser, there's a chest, there's a bed with some rotting straw underneath it. There is also a crib in the middle that no longer has anything in it.
Big babies.
Crib is still there. And there is also a giant steel bathtub covered in blood stains underneath Laura. Just to remind you guys of how gruesome and horrifying this is. Now, additionally, you've done a few things. So firstly, something that you guys have discovered, there's a few things outside. So firstly, right outside is Baba's dead body, which is still there. And next to Baba's dead body on the porch, there's a couple of hanging cages with a bunch of ravens squawking and screeching inside. There's also a giant carved out dragon's skull that you saw flying around a little while ago, parked out front of the house that is just on the ground. Parked, yeah. Beep, beep.
Gonna go right around.
Lock it up. And you also, and this isn't a particularly recognizable dragon skull, but it is certainly recognizable as a dragon skull. That looks like a dragon. I don't know what else could be big enough to produce that kind of skull in that shape. Looks like a dragon. You also have, Kane is holding on to a gem / seed. It kind of at first resembled a gem, and it now kind of looks like maybe more like a seed. Kind of looks like both, could be either, you can interpret it either way. And it is faintly glowing green. It's pretty large. It's like a bit larger than your average pine cone, but still easy to hold in your hand and carry around. And you've been holding this, and you've recognized this. Kane has been able to recognize this as the source of power that was animating the hut. And you're holding on to this artifact that you do have some information about, and you do remember hearing a story from Davian. You guys remember Davian from way back when, the patriarch, about how the seeds that were creating inhabitable magical soil had all been stolen. So you've uncovered all of these things, all of these different pieces, lots of puzzles that are being solved, but also lots of new puzzles that are starting to appear before your very eyes. So as you guys are in this situation, Kane is thinking about ways, I think we rewound on one of them, but Kane is thinking about different ways in which you guys may be able to remove this woman from the ceiling. And you are not necessarily like losing time, but the house is quite smoky and you guys are gonna all start taking some carbon monoxide damage. You can
got spells to like.
Yeah, so we left it with you guys were like trying to figure out what to do. And that's where we're gonna open it back up.
Does Ramis have the wooden coin?
Yes, Ramis would be holding on to that.
What's her name again?
Jenny.
Jenny, her sister.
You don't know.
Okay. What do we have to do, Kane? We have to just like we have to just say something to the coin.
Yes, Ramis, do you not remember the incantation?
No, I think he's right. You gotta roleplay this. Yeah.
No, Ramis would remember. This is the most important thing in the world.
Oh. Would you?
Okay, can we roll
No.
a history check to see if Ramis remembers?
No, Ramis would remember the phrase that you would need to say in order to I mean, you don't actually know what will happen, right? When you were given this coin,
She was like,
here's what
"Give me a shovel."
Jenny told you. Jenny told you, she gave you this coin, and she said, if you are in trouble, if you ever need me,
I remember.
just toss this coin and say, pretty penny,
Jenny, show me Jenny.
Okay. Ramis is gonna take the coin.
And she also, Ramis would of course remember this part because he remembered all of everything else, which was that she said, but make sure you don't use it inside.
She screamed that, yeah.
It's very clear that you should not use it indoors.
Is Ramis even inside the hut though?
You can be wherever you want to at this point.
Okay.
The last thing that you were doing was you actually, so Cinder came out and fed you a healing potion, and Kane was like, go get Ramis. And then you helped revive Zug, and then you were gonna go back into the house to maybe help Kane figure out what to do about this lady.
I'm on the stoop outside.
Okay.
I'm not like the coin. Pretty penny, show me Jenny.
Okay, so Kane utters the words, and
Ramis does.
Kane, sorry, Ramis utters the words, and as soon as you like toss the coin like into the bog, essentially, like flick it up.
Yeah.
So as you flick the coin, it like flies out of your fingers and it falls into the bog just outside of the hut. And where it fell into the water, suddenly a giant like branch emerges and like puffs out of the water, and it grows immediately into like a big like oaken looking tree. And then out of the center, like a door appears and Jenny emerges.
Yes.
What the fuck? And she's standing there. She like looks around and then she sees you and she says, oh, handsome man. She says, and she looks at the hut and she sees like it's on fire. She looks down at her feet, and where you flicked the coin off of the porch is like right next to Baba's body. And she sees the Baba Lasaga's dead body right there, like in the fog.
Yeah.
And she like takes a step back and she's like, what?
She's impressed.
And she like looks at you and she's just like in shock.
I was dead for most of it. Anyways, we need to be inside fast. There's someone we believe you might know.
She looks up at the hut. She looks down at the body. And she says, take me there.
Here, I pick her up.
Like hoist her up onto the porch. By the way, in case I think I probably told you this at one point, but just as a reminder, Jenny is like very small. She's
She's a
like
tiny
4'9". She's like tiny.
Yeah, I like
She's like a tiny person. And you like pull her up, it's like onto the porch steps and bring her inside, where she begins to like cough due to all the smoke. And through the smoke, she sees her sister.
It
And
is her sister. We knew it.
and upon seeing her sister, she furrows her brow, upset, and she says, "Is she alive?"
Yes. Wasn't she? She was talking to us, right? So Jenny can
Yeah.
hear her. Or-
So she's not talking anymore. So
oh, she's not talking.
no. So at this point, she's been like coughing a lot, and she's like gone in and out of consciousness.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
as like the minutes have gone by, she's like starting to pass out. Mhm.
Yes, she's still alive, but we need help with getting her from her
The roof.
paled, stapled state.
The roof is on fire.
The roof is on fire. Jenny looks up. She looks over at the rest of the party. She sees all of you. You're all intact, alive. She says, "What?" She like walks closer and she like gets up. She's like alarmed. She's studying the situation. To you guys, it seems very obvious that this is the first time she's observing what's happening here. She hasn't known like that this has been the condition or the state of what's been going on. And she walks up and like pained horror on her face. And she's examining, she's taking in all this information that you guys already know, which is that Laura has been impaled. There's rods, there's healing and scarring that has happened all around her. She says, I think we just have to pull her down. She says, I have many potions and healing ways to tend to her afterwards, but we must get her out of here.
All
All right.
right. Does Ramis think if he were to try and heal her slightly, she might come to consciousness?
Perhaps you can heal someone to consciousness when they are like passed out from like taking damage, and right now she's passed out from like not being able to like have the right amount of oxygen in her brain. Yeah. So like you think it could be possible, but she might just also need to be removed from the situation.
I thought we got the impression that we couldn't pull her down because they're like barbs going through multiple.
So basically, just to give you guys like the vision, right? She's like, her front side is facing the floor, her back side is on the ceiling, and the bars are like around her in different locations. So there's like one that's like kind of like around her chin, there's one that's around her shoulders, there's one that's around her chest, there's one that's around her like sternum, there's one that's around her like belly and her abdomen, and there's like 13 of them runged all the way down over her hips, her legs, and her ankles. And that's how she's being held up. Now, some of the barbs like look like one of them that's going across her like her lower abdomen is like on one side and then hooked on the other side, but it looks like instead of it being like completely all the way over, like part of it looks like it's going into like her spleen or something. Like it looks like it's entering into her body. So it looks like she's been pierced by some of these in some locations, but she's still managing to be alive in the state that she is.
With all the fire damage, I mean, can I run inside and start, I don't know, start prying some of the iron bars? I assume with my increased knowledge that the recent fire damage would probably weaken some of the structure of the roof. And I can-
Yeah, so the fire hadn't completely gotten over to that side of the house. Most of the
Oh.
fire damage is in the opposite corner. But a little bit did it get over there. You'd guess based off of the condition of the house and where most of the fire happened, that probably didn't cause as much structural integrity specifically in that location.
Okay, if that's the case, then well, you guys are
But they are
talking-
like pronged, right? Like they're like supposedly there had to be a spiky end in order for them to go into the ceiling, right? So like you might be able to like pull and release some.
I thought we tried that last time, and you
Yeah.
said that it was kind of a losing game because a lot of the
So Kane,
hook things, like she'd heal over them.
yeah, so Kane tried to like loop a rope through some of them, right?
Yeah.
That like skin hadn't kind of healed over, which is like about half of them didn't have like skin or major organs or anything like that. And you could pull those out, but we kind of rewound that because we didn't know exactly how that was going to turn out. Also, we don't know how the weight distribution is going to change. So like you can try stuff, but you also have a potentially limited amount of time that you can be in here right now with.
Okay. Well,
the-
I'm gonna rush in and start trying to put out what fire I can.
Most of the fire is already put out. So Kane and Cinder did a really good job of putting out most of the fire already.
So what
Now
time
just
limit are we
smoke.
constrained by?
It's
The
fully
smoke?
smoked out. Yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna start shield bashing the ceiling so the smoke can escape.
you can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna go hack it with my axe while you guys are hashing it out. You hash, I'll hack.
Yeah. So you want to climb up onto like some of the furniture and like start hacking at the ceiling to like try to let some of the smoke get out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll let Zug start doing that.
So is Jenny
What-
just like staring around right now? Is she jumping to
Told
action?
you- She told you what to do and none of you are doing it.
She told us to try, like, I
Yeah,
guess,
I'm not gonna pry her out. That's mean.
well, like,
She
also,
told you she has like potions and remedies. Also, it hasn't been much time. Like you guys are still deciding what the hell to do. Like this is all happening in like 5 to 10 seconds. So you like we're having this conversation, but the real time that's passed in game is like 5-10 seconds.
yeah, I guess, does Remise get the sense that he is physically capable of prying her free?
You don't know how deeply those iron rods are set into the wood. But based off of like the wood that you've seen on the floor that you could actually break with like a sword or a dagger, you have to imagine that the wood planks in the ceiling are probably of equal durability. So like if you use some, I don't know, some maths here, the wood planks on the ground are definitely thick, but even Kane was able to like bust through. So you guys might also be able to bust through the ceiling.
So like punch a hole around where she's staked into the
Yeah.
ceiling.
You could potentially try to like axe, around it and like take her down. Or you could pull the rods out.
Okay, well, I'll start hacking around the iron bars then for the more difficult ones that we can pry off that are not impaling the sister.
Okay, so you want to like get up on to the, remember, this is like a good amount like above your head.
Yeah, I will climb, I will
you're
knock
climb
down
onto,
whatever
like, the-
furniture. Yeah.
The ledge of the steel bathtub.
Actually, Kane will boost me up and then I'll start hacking.
You gonna get on his shoulders?
Kane will do no such thing. He's too frail for that. You're gonna have to ask
You're
someone
as strong as I am.
stronger. That's
That's
not true. That's not true. I have more health than you. I can take more hits than you.
Yeah, I'll climb on whatever furniture I can and start hacking away.
Okay. So Zug is gonna get up on the bathtub and start to like hack around the iron rods. Okay. And yeah, like Jenny is at like this point, she's just like looking at her sister and like looking at the situation, and you can tell like she's she's still like very much in shock as to what's going on. After some time of you all just standing there.
Well, I
she-
guess like I don't have like an axe or a crowbar. Like I guess Reese is looking around for a useful.
You use your sword and start
I have
poking
a
at the wood.
rapier. It's like a fucking needle.
I know what Kane's gonna do.
Mm.
Kane's going to actually Kane's gonna ask Syndra to borrow her sharpest dagger.
Nice.
Right, do that.
Syndra, may I use one of your sharper implements?
Certainly.
Mhm.
I'll present it to you.
Okay, and then he is going to cut through the healed over skin that is over the bars to separate the woman from the bars.
Mhm.
Knowing that we have Jenny's potions at our disposal afterwards, and knowing how important it is that she be removed from the iron regardless of whether or not we're removed from the house.
You're about to say something.
No. I mean, I think revivify. Like if we puncture her lungs or like her heart,
It's just
I think-
skin.
I think
It's-
revivify can bring her back. So
It's just skin over the top of the bars, right? It's not
I
like
thought we
it's
said
the
it-
bars aren't through her bones or anything like
Well,
that, right?
I thought Danielle just said they might be like through her spleen or something.
It looks like
Yeah.
some
Might
of
be
the
hitting vital
bars are
organs.
going through organs. You can't exactly tell, but it looks like bars are like piercing into her body in some places. Yeah.
Okay.
But, and then a lot of places, there's like on 3 or 4 of the bars, there is like skin that has started to like heal over the bars. Like the one like right under her like chin, for example, that's, and her neck has like all this scabbing and is like kind of hung open. That one has like skin that's started to like grow over the surface of the bar and like reattach itself.
So
Okay, so Kane is going to grab the like scalpel and
Yes.
start to like cut some of the skin and like try to like kind of cut it and take it off the bars.
Right.
Okay, so you are gonna begin to do some of that work while Zug is like hacking around like the ceiling where she's being held. And so you begin to like, how are you doing this? Are you like using mage hand?
No, using my hands, so technically still a
Alright.
mage's hands.
Technically, yes, mage hand. So you're climbing up onto the ledge of the bathtub to do this as well.
is there like
Yeah.
sturdier furniture we could be?
There's
using?
like a desk that you could grab. There's also like a chest. There's like a dresser, but it's kind of like too high for you to climb on top of.
We'll use the one of the sturdier pieces.
You grab like a desk and like get up on it. Yeah, that'll totally suffice.
You're probably light enough. Could you perch on my shoulders? I can hold you up. I'm pretty tall.
And dexterous.
Yeah.
If there isn't a piece of furniture or something that we can drag over to make it reasonable, I would be surprised, but that's a
There is
good
a
plan. Okay, let's do that. But that was thoughtful of you.
Yeah. Also, yeah, maybe Syndra is more dexterous than Kane with your little shaky mage hand. Maybe.
Do I get to cut her out of her bindings then?
Why do you think I have a shaky hand?
You're just
'Cause you're
old.
really old.
Your voice is shaky.
Yeah. I have way more dexterity than freaking Zug does. That's for damn sure.
That doesn't surprise me. Zug has no precision whatsoever.
Overwhelming force is my strategy.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know how you want me to play this because I have ideas and stuff. Kane's smart, but I don't necessarily want to be the player who's telling other players what to do all the time. I'm just trying to make some shit happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen. You got this.
You do whatever you want, Danny.
Okay, so you can just proceed with cutting. And Jenny leaves and goes outside for a little while. So you guys are doing this for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Zug's punctured some holes in the roof, so like the smoke is definitely there and you guys are feeling it, but you're not like passing out or anything at this point. And after a little while, you get to the point where Kane has like cut a lot of the skin. Most of it, the healed skin, you can cut through and like it's not problematic. It kind of like opens up and like you can pry it off. Some of it is like a little bit thick and like there's a couple of like little blood vessels here and there, but nothing looks like too major. There are still a couple of rungs where it looks like she's been like pierced, her body's been pierced. And Zug is cutting around like the ceiling. And eventually he is able to hack through enough of the planks to where like it's gonna come down. So yeah, you guys can figure out how you want to handle that.
I think we would
Yeah,
all
sure.
stand up on the desk and
And like grab it.
like help each
Mhm.
other bring it down safely to the floor.
Okay. So you guys eventually are able to like grab it and like pull her down to the floor. She's still passed out. And now you can see that the prongs have like gone all the way through the wooden planks. The wooden planks aren't that thick. They're like maybe a couple inches thick, like 2 inches. The prongs are going all the way through them, the spiked prongs. But it looks at this point like you can probably like pull them off like with some force without damaging her.
Even the ones going through it.
Those are a different story.
So, but Jenny said we should take those off.
And Jenny went outside.
But she did say earlier that we should take those off.
And she said, you got to get her out of here. Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay.
Listen,
All right.
do whatever you want.
Okay.
Free
Yeah.
from the roof now, right? Just still
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the rungs.
Okay,
let's
let's move her out.
carry her outside. Yeah.
Yeah, we're taking her outside
Okay, you take her outside.
on her like plank bed.
Or, yeah, plank. Whatever it is.
Her bed of nails.
There you go. Yeah.
Do we see Jenny outside?
Yeah, so Jenny is outside and the tree that she came in, which I think only Ramis actually saw, none of you did, is gone. And her rickshaw with Toad is here. Toadie is here. And she's rummaging through her rickshaw stash and like looking for something.
We
I'm
got
gonna
her out of the house, Jenny.
Here she is.
Swivels around and sees, she reaches in and she grabs like this big green bubbling bottle and she walks over to the porch where you guys are, and she like looks closely at everything. She looks at the body, she looks at all the skin and all the scars. You see her examining it, like pain and like conflict on her face. She then like starts to examine. So there's 2 places where she can see that looks like these have pierced her actual like body and organs. She looks at them, she examines them really closely, and she grabs a like a thick cloth, and she soaks the potion in the thick cloth and she like blots it all around the corners, all around the edges, like right through her spleen, or right through like, yeah, in the abdomen. And she like blots it around the edges, and you can see like it starts to like glow a little bit. And she says, now help me pull this one out. And she like looks at Zug.
Yeah, I'll help.
And she motions to you to like yank it. Zug's gonna do it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Zug, roll a strength check.
3, critical fail.
Yeah. So you yank,
My
and
hand slipped and I hit my.
that is literally what I was going to say. Is your hand slips right off the wrought iron because it's been blooded, and like smack yourself in the face. You punch
I was too
yourself in the head.
strong.
Should I make you take 6 damage and die again? No, just kidding. You just smack yourself in the forehead.
I'm at 9 health
Oh,
now.
are you? I thought you were
Yeah,
at 6.
Boom. He can survive at least 2 punches.
I gain health, I think.
I think you gained 6. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
No, you gained 12.
You punch yourself in the face. And then she like Jenny looks at you and like tries to suppress a laugh, but like is also very serious. And she gestures at Syndra and she says, like, you help.
Okay.
She's not gonna get the fucking giant pig to help
Help
me.
me.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, feel free to. I mean, you can help her. You can roll dex.
I got a 14.
So Syndra grabs the rod and like pulls with all of her strength, and you can see the rod comes out like a tiny bit, but it doesn't budge too much. You get like maybe like a centimeter's worth to sort of come out, and you see like the vapors start to like slosh around and like kind of sploosh off of her. But you're not able to pull it
Can
completely
like
out.
2 people pull on this bar? Like it's going across her entire abdomen, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
So 2 people could try to pull on this bar together. Someone has to like brace the like wood. So finally,
yeah, good.
yeah, Jenny's like, okay. She says, you stand here, and she puts Zug's like foot onto the wooden plank, and she goes back to her rickshaw, and she gets like a very thick rope, and she like ties it really in a deep knot around the rod, and she ties the other end to Toady, and she says, okay. And she says, all right, now you guys help position her and prop her up. So she basically is trying to like get Zug to like stand and like brace against the wood, and then Toady to pull the other way. And I assume like Zug follows like suit and like helps.
Sure.
So I'm gonna have Zug do another strength check to go
My
against,
specialty.
yeah, against it to like hold fast while Toady pulls on the rod.
Okay, 17.
Okay, you hold
Nice.
fast, and Toady pulls on the rod, and finally the rod like comes loose and like breaks out of her body. And you see the like green bubbling vapors like shimmer, and you see the wound like starts to like close itself right away.
We need some of that.
I want to poke it.
The healing wound?
Yeah.
You're gonna
That's
poke it?
gross.
It'll heal around
Gently.
your finger.
She'll be stuck to her.
Okay, and then there's a second one. So there's one other rod that's stuck through her, and it's like near her heart, but it doesn't look like it's going through her heart. It's kind of like in the shoulder-ish area, like armpity shoulder area.
All right, let me handle this one. I got this one.
Um,
I'm gonna brace myself and try to pry it out.
She eyes you with skepticism and says, hold on. She hasn't applied the thing yet. So before she does that, she finishes. So after the rod gets pulled out, she like puts the cloth underneath her sister as well in the abdomen. So she's like put some on the top. She also goes behind and like puts some on the bottom, some of this like potion. She wets the cloth again. She covers the like left side shoulder with it. And she says, okay, I'll let you try again.
Okay, I'm gonna spit on my palm and rub them together, and then clap, and then brace myself, and I'm gonna try to pry it out.
Okay. I'm not gonna make you take a -1 penalty for slippery.
It's orc spit. It's like applying like
My spit is
Like-
like
it's like
corrosive.
almost.
yeah.
Yeah. It's gross.
Mhm.
Oh no.
6.
Yeah, so you grab firmly with both arms and try to pull the rod out. And as you do it, your hands slip off, and the one that's on your right actually like punches Jenny in the face.
Jesus Christ.
And
Oh, she cakes Ganesh, right?
he doesn't look very happy.
Can,
Why is she so close?
yeah,
She's very invested.
can Remise ask for Syndra's help to together try to pry it? Like, if we both brace one foot on the piece of the wood and like our hands on a side of the staple.
So yeah, so you guys can go on either side of
Yeah.
her. One of you puts foot down on one side, foot down on the other side. You both grab the
Both
rod
arms.
and like pull up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely try to do that. Which one of you is on the side that has the rod? You're gonna roll the strength check, and the other person is gonna assist.
I don't care. I'll do it.
Okay.
I gotta die right. Syndra, help me with this. Are you just rolling one strength check? or
Roll
it-
strength, and then Sindra will roll. Let's do a D6 to assist.
No, that's not.
D6? Okay.
Okay, that's a 2. So I don't think we're gonna get it anyways.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 6 if that helps us out at all.
So, if it's help, quote unquote.
If you want to use help,
Well, that's like with advantage, so maybe we get another roll.
are you using help? Is it
Well, help is just it's just like a.
It's an action, right?
Yeah.
So you want to use a helping action.
Yeah. Syndra's helping me.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I just rolled a 2 again.
Oh my god.
Fuck this lady. She should just just die here.
Doomed.
This is her home now.
Yeah.
Jenny looks at Ramis and she's like, and then she looks back at like the corpse of Baba and she's like trying to put 2 and 2 together. I was like, how the fuck did you kill her?
These stakes are very deep. Help us, Jenny, please.
She says,
Oh my gosh.
so she like grabs the knot she did, she undoes it with like ease, which is very like very gracefully, and she like re-knots over here and she says, prop her up. And so you guys prop her up, and this time she's like, you go there and you go there. She tells like Zug and Ramis to go on either side to brace this time, and she says Toadie's gonna pull. So
This
let's-
is very dangerous. I don't know why she's letting us do this.
So I'm gonna take a strength check to each of you. It's very low to brace against the wood while Toadie pulls out rod.
Is it 2? Because I've rolled 2 2s in a row.
I rolled a 1 and a 4, dude.
You can do
I'm rolling. I rolled another 4.
Oh my god.
15.
6.
great. Great.
Do you
So-
guys want some help?
You're able to brace. So Ramis like holds fast and holds strong
Yes.
while Toadie is pulling. Zug on the other side is holding fast, but his shoulder loses grip and he ends up like pushing all of his strength in it to try to hold on. But the wood plank like kind of slides away from his shoulder as he's bracing it, and he just like falls face first into the bog. But Toadie is able to pull the rod.
Good.
Why is this rod harder than the lady we just fought?
So the rod comes out, and as soon as it does, Jenny again like soaks the potion and like puts it onto the backside of Laura's shoulder. And you see again like the vapors immediately take effect and like start to heal the wound. So with that, you guys are able to eventually, I'm going to allow for, with the help of Toadie and the group, pull all the rods loose. These ones are a lot easier to take out because they're not piercing her body or her organs. And you pull all the rods out eventually and take her off the wood. She's looking pretty battered and bruised, worse for wear. She's still completely unconscious. And Jenny starts to like tend to her sister and starts to like tend to some of her wounds and heal some of them. And she looks up at the party. She says to you all, she says, thank you Hold on, I'm gonna do my Jenny voice. I'm like losing my voice already. Thank you.
Jenny voice.
Thank you so much. My sister has been here for such a time. I was not able to help her. I had no idea that she was in this kind of horrid condition. And she looks at you and she says, I am so amazed that you were able to kill this horrible sorceress. Thank you for ridding her from the land. I believe that my sister will be okay. I will take her back to my shop and I will tend to her. Please come see me if you need anything. And she runs over to her rickshaw again and she grabs a few things. She gives you guys 3 potions of healing. She hands you another coin. 3 greater potions of healing, which someone should take stock of. And she hands you another coin.
Sweet.
Cool.
3 potions of healing. Does somebody want to take
Yeah,
some?
I'm putting it on the thing.
You guys can figure out how you want to distribute those.
Actually, why don't we use the app for that? We can start making sure we have that. So just 3? Okay. Who is
Mine.
taking them?
I still have mine, so I have 1.
Okay.
I have none, so I could take all of them, or I would love at least one.
You should definitely take one.
I already have 1.
Amis, you have one? Okay. I have one as well. So what level are these, Danielle?
Potion of-
They're greater or superior?
Greater potions.
Okay.
Is Jenny leaving actively?
She is about to.
I think Ramis would stop her and say, we are happy to have returned the favor to you and your family. However, we were also hoping for your advice. Is like the dragon skull in sight?
Yes, it was sitting in front of the house. Yeah.
Ramis will just point to it and be like, that. You came here for your sister, but also for this, to return it to Argynvost's Hope. Do you have any ideas how we might get it there safely? Us 4 carrying this through the bog does not seem like the best idea. Plus, you've witnessed our strength, and we may not be capable.
She looks at you like big-eyed.
I'm glad she still got her sense of humor.
That is a sticky situation. She says, do you know how heavy it is?
Ramis looks at it, does some calculations. Doesn't know how heavy it is.
I actually have quite a simple plan in mind for that, Ramis.
Oh, well.
He's not there,
Sorry.
but
I spoke out of turn. Never mind. Get out of here.
she says, well, if all else fails, she says, I happen to know someone who has a cart that might be able to carry something of that weight, but we'd have to know how heavy it is.
Okay.
She says, you know how to find me if you need me. And she like winks. Let's go, Dodie.
Travel safely.
Meanwhile, the ravens in the cages outside are squawking ravenously
Oh no.
at all of you.
I've been waiting to free
Wait,
them.
but they were magically locked in there, right?
Potentially, yeah. So there was it seems like the lock is of some kind of magical nature. Like there's like maybe a glyph or something here. But there is like also a physical lock that you could try to pick.
I would like to try to pick that lock.
Go for it. Dexterity.
Dex?
Nice.
15.
15 dexterity. You put your little lock picking set into the lock. You fiddle around. You hear a few clicks here and there. but nothing budges.
Damn.
Hmm. I might need a second pair of eyes on this, perhaps from my wizard friend.
You could also attempt to break the lock with strength. That is another option.
I don't
I
know.
will sidle up side our rug.
There's a lot of ways you can try to pick a lock. I will leave it open to you to decide how you want to try. Or dispel anything that might be on it if there's a magical thing on it.
Okay. King, can you take a look at it and see if there is anything preventing me from picking the lock?
Yes, of course, Indra. Let me see here. Kane pulls out his wand and gives it a flick, and a little bit of light sparks off the end of it. And he takes a look. That was a detect magic one. He takes a look at the lock to see if there's anything that could be slipping Cinder up a little bit.
Yeah, so when you inspected this previously, which was before you went into the house, you did sense like some magic, and now you don't.
Huh.
It appears, Indra, as though there are no magical properties to this lock whatsoever. What have you tried?
Well, I just tried picking the lock. Could I grab my dagger back from you?
Oh, of course. Kane, he pauses for a moment looking at it and seeing the blood on it, and he uses his robe to wipe it off in as respectful a way as he can.
Yeah.
Hands it back to Cinder and says, I appreciate your assistance.
Cinder's gonna try to break the lock with the dagger.
Okay, so are you gonna like stab the sharp end of the dagger like into the underside of the lock, or like, yeah, how do you want to do that? Or like try to strength, like just like smack it off and like
Does the lock look like, like one of our old like locker
Like
type
a-
lock things?
it looks like a padlock, like it looks like a very sturdy padlock.
I want to try to put the blade in it, get leverage against the side, and like try to pop it off.
Okay. Okay, let's do another dexterity check. Trying a slightly different approach.
20, not nat.
Cool. Okay, so you slide your dagger into the side and get some leverage, and you like dig in and the lock like pops open.
Yeah.
And you could take it off.
Nice.
And as soon as you take it off, you can open up the door and let the ravens loose, is what I assume you're intending. You let the ravens out, and all of them fly away, except for one. One of them lands at like your feet.
Cool. I'm gonna rifle through my bag really quick and find a little like crust of bread or something and feed it.
Oh.
Cool. So you
I'm
rifle
hungry.
your bag for a
Yeah.
second, and you grab like a little piece of like old bread, but still good bread. And
that
you
was good, bro.
feed it to the raven, who seemingly happily takes it from you and gobbles it up, and then transforms into
Oh shit.
a
Nice.
raven that you recognize.
Joey.
Okay.
Joey?
I don't know. Remember known.
Our were raven friends from the Wizard of Wines.
So you are able to recognize this particular were raven as this is Elvin, and you totally remember Elvin. Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember who Elvin is?
He's one of the sons of the wine maker.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Elvin is the youngest son of Davian, who you guys actually were with Adrian and Elvin when you were in the house fighting off those druids, those were the two who were assisting you. So Elvin is the youngest brother. And yeah, just to refresh you guys on like this little family, because at the time you knew this. So like Davian is the patriarch. He's the one who owns and runs the wine shop. Davian has 3 sons. Adrian is the oldest one that was with you guys in the Wizard of Wines. Erwin is the middle son, who is the innkeeper at the Blue Water Inn with his wife Danica. And Elvin is the youngest son, who was also with you at the Wizard of Wines. And he immediately, of course, recognizes all of you. And he says, like he sounds like he's almost like winded after like transforming back into his human form. And he says, "Oh, wow. Thank you. I was starving."
I'm gonna hand him the rest of the bread with that little tiny piece of crust.
They hand him a whole slice of bread.
I'm gonna point to the sorceress that's dead on the ground.
And he like grabs the bread and he like shoves it into his mouth, like, "Ah!" And he like looks down. So he was like here the whole time, like he saw what happened, and he was like, "That was incredible."
You came for the seed on your own.
He says, my father and my brother warned me not to, but I had to come scout it out. The people are losing their faith. They're losing who they are. I had to come see if it was possible, but that evil, horrid witch, she captured me. She knew right away. She knew what I was and who I was. Says, "I know that the gem was here." He says, "Were you able to recover the seed?"
Yes.
Am I able to hear this conversation?
Yeah.
Forgive me. We did recover what I believe is the seed, though we could use your confirmation. And Kane pulls out the stone.
So Kane pulls out the big old glowing seed, and Elvin's eyes go absolutely wide. He's completely enamored, and his smile like fills his face ear to ear, and he looks at it and he says, "Oh," he says, "it has been so hard. We've had such a horrible drought. We've had no wine for weeks. This is our salvation." And he like furrows his brow and he looks at all of you and he says, "I cannot thank you enough. May I take this back to the Wizard of Wines and replant this to get the wine flowing again?"
Of course, I believe that is perhaps the happiest you could possibly make Zug here as well.
Don't let the druids.
Hands the stone over.
Don't let the druids take it.
So Zug actually like yells out like, "Don't let the druids take it."
Probably.
Elvin grabs the seed like lovingly in a loving like cradle embrace, almost as if it was a baby. And he turns to Zug and he says, "Yes, unfortunately, the druids of Yester Hill are still holding on to our second seed." He says, "I was also going to go scout that out, but after my dealings here, I'm feeling a little bit more cautious at the moment."
Sounds as though you have learned your lesson.
Well, in order to fully restore our winery and get back to where we want to be, we are going to need to recover all of the seeds. He says, "But for now, we will plant this one and see what we can do." And he says, "Thank you so much. Please know if you ever are by our winery, or please, I will on my travels, when I am out and about around town, I will go to the inns and let them know your name and let them know that when you arrive, you shall receive our finest wine for no price at all.
Tight.
And he says, please come by and see us again at the Wizard of Wines. We do not have the strength and the spirit that you all have in order to get our seats back, and we could really use your help. And he nods and he thanks you all again. He says, and please, if there's anything that I or my family can do for you, know that we are indebted to you.
Just wine, thank you.
And he grabs the seed in his hands, and in front of your eyes, he transforms back into a large raven. He's slightly large raven, like larger than most of the others, and holds it like in his large talons, and flaps away, like slowly flaps away with the seed towards the direction of the Wizard of Wines, which is about northeast of where you all are at. In fact, the Wizard of Wines is not very far from where you guys are right now. And you see him flap away. You guys may have just restored at least some wine back to the land. I mean, it's going to take a while for the grapes to regrow, but it's a good first step.
Mm.
That was good to check the cages, and with ravens in these parts, you never know. They could be a man. They could be a raven.
There is also another cage filled with ravens that are still.
I'm gonna open it.
That guy didn't even bother saving his other raven pals. He just
There's
left them there.
only one cage.
There were 2 cages of ravens. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm flanking the doorway.
Didn't
I
you say there was
crack
a
that one open
cage
too.
inside too?
No cage
Or-
inside. There's a crib inside.
No,
Sick.
not the
A baby
siblings.
cage.
It's a
Yeah,
baby
it's a
cage.
baby cage.
There's a
Release the baby.
Hey, whoa.
The baby was the thing that disappeared as soon as
Yeah.
Ramis went in to pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I tried to take a baby hostage, and
Didn't work out.
An illusion. Which yeah, this is still an unsolved mystery as to why there was an illusion baby in the hut.
Let's talk to Jenny's sister about that one.
You're gonna try to break open the other
Oh,
cage
yeah.
filled with grapes. Okay. Dexterity check.
14. Yeah, that's not good.
Not gonna
Wait.
cut it.
Can I try with my dagger again?
Stand aside. It's time for strength. I'm gonna try prying it open with my strength.
Yeah, Ramis is going to go ahead and try to help get this over with.
So Zug like pushes Syndra aside and says, "Move aside." And are you gonna like try to do it with your hands or like your axe?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
with my hands.
With your bare hands.
Sweet.
I have to prove myself. 13.
Wait. 17.
17 total.
How are you helping him?
Bardic inspiration.
Okay, so you give him bardic inspiration.
What form does that inspiration take?
A song.
Did you whip out your instrument while he went over to the
This is like that meme that Josh posted. It takes the form of me giving Josh bardic inspiration. The technicality.
You don't want to sing a song about
I'm like
breaking
I'm
laws?
like telepathic. I can.
He starts playing on his instrument. X gonna give it to you. And it gets me so pumped up.
Yeah, Zug is very pumped up. And Zug grabs the lock with his absolute bare hands
Or
and
cans.
his orc hands, his bare orc hands, and attempts to rip it.
Beautiful.
And somehow like does. And like your fingers definitely are gonna be sore for like a day.
Nah, it's fine. Nothing a short rest can't heal.
But you're able to like rip the lock off. There's like maybe a little bit of like rustiness on the lock, and like you use that to your advantage, and pry it open. And yeah, let the ravens loose.
Zorg's pretty goddamn strong. He's able to rip a lock apart.
But he can't
Can't rip.
fucking do anything else. So useless.
Very useful.
Selective strength.
Selectively useful.
Oh.
Great. So you're able to rip off the lock and open up the cage, and the ravens all scatter and fly away instantly. None of these ones remain behind.
I'm grateful about George.
You do. They do look like grateful. If a raven could look
Okay.
grateful,
Okay.
it
That
does
means
look.
satisfied.
Yeah. Like it makes them. Some of them make some eye contact with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just like tight.
Yeah.
I'm a friend of birds.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you guys have parted ways with the giant seed. You've released some ravens. You've parted ways with Jenny and her sister. What's next on your checklist?
Should we just go back into the witch mansion and just start knocking some skulls?
Don't we need the skull or something?
Yeah, we need the dragon skull, but there were also those like witches that were like, look out for our mom, and we're like, whatever. We go with
Oh, are you saying we should sever the head of her mom and bring it back to them?
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Why do you guys
Yes.
love to?
I want to search her body
Oh,
for anything
Rifles.
of value before we get too invested in anything else.
Okay. So you pick up the corpse. You rummage through the corpse of Baba, who's like kind of half in the water at this point, face down,
Jesus
by the
Christ.
way. And you look in like any crevices or pockets that you can find. And in kind of like a concealed pocket in the front of one of her, in the front of like her cloak, you find now like the paint is kind of like bleeding because it's kind of hit the water. But you find it's like a very, I want to have fun explaining this for a second. You find a portrait of a child,
Like a
young boy with dark black hair and light skin, and it's kind of smudged because it fell in the water. But this portrait is like painted, and it appears to be like very old.
Do we recognize the boy?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
That's all she has on her.
That's all she's holding on her person.
I'm sorry, how big was it?
The portrait,
Yeah.
it's like that
So
big.
it's a picture, not
It's a picture, yeah. It's kind of like chest up, like shoulders and head, portrait of a young boy. And like the style and the art and the painting like look like they are not from this time.
the
It's
house
like
is still
you-
at its
Like it's like if I were to like kill Ryan right now and then loot his body, and he was holding on to like a 1500s like style Renaissance like portrait of a like little girl.
That's weird.
Like that
That's
doesn't
super
fit. Like that doesn't fit the time. You know. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
cool.
I'm gonna pick it up and hand it to someone.
I think Kane was looting the body,
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
so Kane has it.
I'll grab it from Kane and then give it back to him.
He's like snatches it away, and he's like, and he hands it back.
I don't understand.
What is this?
The house is okay to go into, right? At this point, I assume we left the front door open, the smoke
The
kind of.
front door's open, the ceiling is busted open.
I believe the front door was knocked off its hinges or something like that.
Yeah,
It was knocked off its
Blew
hinges,
Ramis up.
blew Ramis into the water and like did a bunch of damage to him.
Did
Wasn't
like
the-
30 damage.
It wasn't the fight that killed me, it was the fucking front door at the beginning.
Never knocked on a
I-
witch's door.
Could I run inside and rifle through her dresser and the desk? Was there a desk
There was a dresser,
and a
there was
chest?
a desk, there
Yeah.
was a bed, there's a tub, there's a wooden chest, and a crib.
Loot the house.
I think we should all go inside and look through everything. Since the smoke is gone.
Sure, let's loot this shit.
Yeah.
We earned it.
All right, so you all start to rummage and ruffle through all the items in the house. So Ramis goes to like the desk, Sindra goes to like the dresser, y'all are running around. And eventually Sindra gets to the wooden chest and you open it and it opens without issue. But as soon as you open the chest, four like horrific, like gnarled, skeletal, like skin is like falling off hands, crawl out of the chest and like jump at you.
Is this like 4 things?
Okay.
Yes. So imagine, for those of you who are familiar with Wednesday, 4 things, but like much more horrific, crawl out and start like latching on to Sindra and starting to attack her. And I'm gonna have you roll initiative.
Ah!
There's no battle
They
today.
are hands like trying to attack you, yeah. I
Yeah,
told you that you wouldn't get into combat today, but I lied.
I got 7.
Cool.
You are
Can
surprised.
Ramis look up from his rummaging and join combat, or?
You can join the next round. Oh, 4. They got 6, so you're gonna get to act first against these horrific things. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Sure of what they look like.
I got 16.
Hold on, I want to send
I
an image to you guys of what these look like
It's pretty cool.
because they're disgusting. Oh, I should send it in Nano Machines.
You should just skewer all of them, make like a hand kebab.
Character. I probably shouldn't put this in the characters file, but there it is.
That's a character.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Okay. So yeah. What are you gonna do? You're gonna yeah, what do you want to do?
Who's going first?
So I can only attack one at a time, right?
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I kind of want to see how many I could skewer on my little dagger.
Okay, so you want to like take your
I kinda wanna-
dagger and
I
you
want
want
to try to skewer them and then like stab the wall and get them stuck.
so you want to like
pop, pop, pop.
take like a sweeping stab to like maybe even hit like multiple of them and then like stab it into the wall.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's say you could reach up to 3 of them depending on if you hit them.
Okay.
Oh,
So go ahead and like roll for 3 different hits.
Okay. 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 23, 17, and 12.
Nice. Those are all going to hit. So you skewer 3 of them with your dagger and like smack them into the wall. And I'm not gonna make you roll damage. They all immediately like flop down.
Nice.
And the last one, like I'm not gonna turn it into a thing. It doesn't care. Like it like looks at its brother and it's like, no, it like crawls up your body, like onto your throat, and it like puts its like creepy hand around your throat, and like tries to like strangle you. And it's going to roll to like try to
Grapple?
strangle you.
To try to strangle me, okay.
Choke out syndrome.
You're fine.
It doesn't have a forearm, so there's no like. It's like some little finger
It just
pressure.
feels like someone's just like tickling your throat a little bit, like, but it's gross.
It's not pleasant at all.
It's quite unpleasant, but it doesn't
But
do
not
any
painful.
damage.
Right.
Okay. And with that, if anyone else wants to roll for initiative,
This one's in there.
This wants to go.
That's 12.
okay. So Ramiz is gonna get to like act next. So after you've seen Sindra skewer these disgusting hands, and then this one starts to crawl up and like grab her throat, and now you get to act.
Like so, Ramis wants to have fun with these hands too because he thinks this is like most entertaining. You like pry it off her neck, and what's that game where you like take a knife and you like
Oh,
and he wants to like slam it on a table and
And like
start
play the game.
like with this creature's hand instead of his own hand.
Aw.
Jedi.
Okay, so you're gonna like snap, you're gonna like grab it and snag it, and, like slam it on the
And, like,
table,
hold it down with his
and then
forearm.
hold it down
Like,
with some
start, like-
strength, and then do that, okay.
Freaking shit, right?
So,
Sorry, Joe.
so let's have you like just roll, so I'm gonna say like you can easily like grab it.
Yeah.
And let's have you roll like a strength check to like push
Oh,
it down
strength. Oh no.
and like hold it down on the table while you like perform the action.
Damn.
What is it?
That's a 3.
Yeah, but what's your strength modifier?
0.
Yeah, so with a 3, you snag it and like you smack it on the table and it like it splays itself, like it spatchcocks itself flat.
Yeah.
And you like try to hold it down to like grab your dagger, but like it like slips out from under your hand and like crawls away very quickly. And Sindra is gonna get to act next.
Well,
Where did it crawl away to?
It like crawls, so like I'm assuming maybe you grabbed it and like, so the desk is at this point because they moved it to go up to the ceiling pretty close to where the
Yeah.
chest is. So
okay.
like you like pushed it on the desk, and so now it's like on the desk, like starting to skitter away.
I'm gonna pull my dagger out of the wall and try to run up to it and stab it.
Totally. All right, so Sindra, like free action, grab the dagger out of the wall and like run over, and like you attempt to stab it, and like stab it onto the desk. Yeah, roll to hit.
Get it.
17.
That will hit. So you skewer it onto the table, and it also immediately like and like falls flat.
Does it make a little noise?
No,
Oh.
like I mean, like
Just
it's
like-
it's like little
Yeah.
bone arm, yeah, like hits it like plunk, and it's like passes out. Great. That's it. And so you guys go back to the chest
Woo!
and look
I want
inside.
to go back to that chest. Yeah.
Nothing else horrific in it besides that. And you can see in the chest there are a bunch of various items, including,
Oh,
firstly,
yeah.
you are now the new proud owners of 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
All right,
Sweet.
what's under my chair?
Chair. Beautiful, expensive looking gemstones.
me to party?
I'm writing it down right now.
Under Zug's chair, you find a very peculiar vial that has a dark black viscous liquid inside.
Mm.
Ugh.
What is it in?
A vial, a glass vial.
Okay.
Kane finds 2 spell scrolls,
Ooh.
and you find 2 spell scrolls. One is Mass Cure Wounds,
Ooh.
and the other is Revivify.
Oh,
Ooh.
there, Kane, huh?
Mm-hmm. You find something very fun. You
More
find
fun than 4 rotting hands?
more fun. You find a set of pipes of haunting.
Oh,
A haunting?
neat. What is that? What is that?
Is that like a tobacco pipe? And
So
if you smoke it, you get haunted?
the pipes of haunting. So firstly, you must be proficient with instruments to use the pipes of haunting.
Just generically?
Yes.
I'm proficient with instruments.
They have 3 charges. You can use an action to play the pipes and expend 1 charge to create an eerie spellbinding tune. Each creature within 30 feet of you that hears you play must succeed on a DC 15 wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you for 1 minute. If you wish, all creatures in the area that are not hostile towards you automatically succeed on the throw. A creature that fails the saving throw can repeat it at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect on itself on a success. A creature that succeeds on its saving throw is immune to the effect of these pipes for 24 hours. The pipes regain 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. There's 3 charges a day.
Sweet.
So
Cool.
it causes all enemies
Let's see.
to be frightened.
They look kind of spooky.
Yeah, they are pretty spooky. I will send the link to that so you don't have to remember all of those things.
I already took down the pipes. I'm
Oh,
assuming.
you've already got it in inventory.
Yeah, I'm assuming the pipes are. Everybody's okay with the bard taking those.
Yep.
I would only try to eat it.
And you find another item that it's very peculiar, but also beautiful. You find a piece of polished agate, and this is a luckstone.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What'd that do?
Whoever is holding the luckstone gains a +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws.
All of that?
Mm.
Who gets that? Jesus.
Fight amongst yourselves.
We should just pass it around. At the end of each turn, pass it to whose turn it is.
Yeah, every free action, I toss it to my next team.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Okay.
Who would like it?
Everyone would like it, Sindra.
Well, who should get it? Nathan.
I think we should play rock, paper, scissors with the severed hands that we just killed.
There are 4 of them.
Sindra killed those. We didn't kill those.
I mean, I watched, right?
You did watch.
They died.
I'm sure you were rooting from the sidelines. So.
Somebody else can take it. I've got my spooky pipes.
I'm gonna look at Kane and I'm gonna shrug.
I mean, it's ability checks and saving. Well, saving throws is actually great. Ability checks are like wisdom check, strength check, that kind of thing, right? Yeah.
On those occasions, we can share it.
We can literally hand it to each other on those occasions. It's more of like who should have it for the saving throws.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say not it.
Really? I have pretty good pluses on half of my saving throws.
Thank you, Kane.
I can hold on to it until we need to do a strength check or like anything like
Plus one
that.
would not have helped us.
Sounds good.
That's true.
Probably wouldn't have. Sometimes, but it sounds really good. Like it's a permanent bonus, but
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
it
I mean,
only-
the saving throws part is especially cool because saving throws can be life or death in some cases.
yeah, they nearly were.
Yeah. they
Matter
never
of
were.
fact, for Syndra, not that long ago.
What is it, plus one to death saving throws?
Just saving throws.
Any saving throw.
Okay, that's very good.
So it was not all for naught.
It's my first piece of gear, guys.
Okay. And that is everything that is in the chest.
Boo! More items.
Boo!
That was a lot of stuff, you guys.
With rooting through everything, we don't see anything that could be tied to the creepy young boy painting, do we?
Yeah, can we examine that a little bit more closely?
Yeah, so rummaging through all of her belongings and everything that's in here, you don't necessarily see anything that points to like little boy. No, I will say that the baby in the crib that Remy saw was a little boy.
Oh, it wasn't a baby?
It was a baby, but it was a little baby.
But it was a big
It was a
boy.
baby boy, yeah.
Fine.
And yeah, there's nothing that is obvious here that you can tell like attaches. So looking at the picture, the like kind of smudged picture a little bit closer, you see the little boy in the picture. He has, light skin, he has dark hair. He's wearing like very fine looking clothing. He's got like this like red kind of coat with some buttons at the front. And he is sitting in like a really like nice chair, kind of almost looks like it could be like a big dining chair, like a fancy table or something like that. Yeah, that's what you can tell from this portrait. As you inspect it closer, and kind of turn it around and look over at like it, on the back side, you see like a small like scribbling on the bottom, and it says like my son.
Okay.
Just has the two words my son, that's it. Like it doesn't look like any part of it's cut off. It's just my son.
Are there any like any kind of clothing or any jewelry or anything that would be identifying about this figure, this subject?
Nothing specific, but if you want, let's do like a history check to see if you can kind of like pin maybe what time period this looks like it's from.
I rolled a 16.
So it's 16.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like probably from like, I would say like the 400 to 700 years prior.
4 to 7.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. So definitely would like this clothing, either this boy is in like some kind of costume, or this portrait is very, very, very old.
Interesting. Anything about the subject themselves that looks familiar or anything like that, or is it just this is a picture of this is a really, really old picture of a boy?
It's an old picture of a boy. I mean, it would be hard to like pinpoint, especially because it's like smudged. But I mean, if you look at it for long enough, which you are.
Staring this thing down. You guys are like kind of weirded out by
Looking
it.
at
King,
Um,
what are you
and
doing there?
Chain specifically is like looking at this and like, and you do start to like make a few connections. You're like, pale skin, dark hair, red coat, gold buttons.
Does this look like Strahd? I stared this fucker down in the eyes. Does this look like Strahd?
It could be.
I think Hermes comes up behind Kane and says, "This looks like a very old portrait. Is that you as a boy?"
I'm wondering, perhaps, if this could be Strahd himself.
It could
Which-
be.
If the writing here is any indicator, we may have just killed Strahd's mother.
You guys happen to know from all the lore that's gone ons in Barovia that Queen Ravenovia has been dead for centuries.
But perhaps not.
Dead is relative, I suppose.
Is a dead relative.
It is now.
Dead relative? Yeah. There's no confirmation one way or the other. It was really hard to tell, but like it's definitely not Strahd.
We should keep it. Maybe we will have a chance to show it to him sometime soon.
Yes.
You were saying you had some ideas for this skull.
Actually, yes, I do. I believe, provided we can create a bit of a tug, I can handle the vast majority of the weight. A simple levitation spell should do the trick.
Oh. That's amazing. Yeah.
Where is the skull right now?
It's outside of the house, kind of parked at the porch. In front of the porch. The porch probably wouldn't, well, it could support its weight, but
Before we do that, is there anything else we would like to attend to here? We could inquire about this portrait with the other witches.
Perhaps that's a good idea. They may know more than we will. Why are you guys looking at each other like that?
You're having a staring
It's like-
contest. Give him
I
a
was
second.
trying to read her expression. I just suggested something wrong. It was good. You look like annoyed with me as always, so you didn't give me. Sweet. Ramiz is gonna like march back to the witch's house.
you're gonna go back to that like old mansion.
Yeah, because we never got to like check it out. They just yelled at us a bunch.
That's true.
Wait, witch's mansion? Where's that?
So
Why
when we
am I not
entered
aware?
the area, remember we were being attacked by scarecrows.
Yeah.
And we found a huge mansion, and we
Oh, that's right.
witches.
There's a section of it with like spiders or something.
We got
Oh,
scared off by bugs.
There were no
No,
spiders
that,
here.
that was Argenbus' fault. This
Nothing because there's spiders everywhere.
this was a different place, and we didn't see much. We just went inside and got yelled at. They're like, "We're gonna tell our mom," basically, is what they said.
Well,
Oh shit! Did we kill their mom? Damn.
so to remind you guys.
Could be tough in
There
there.
was, so this was like approximately where you saw the skull like float over your
Yeah.
heads. And you all found a goat's pen.
Mhm.
With a bunch of human skulls at the top. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, that's
It's pretty,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
yeah. And it was
Yeah.
like very high, like the pen was super high up. And then that was like the first thing you encountered. And then it was attached to a giant, like kind of half crumbling, overgrown mansion. And that resembled or reminded you of like the burgomaster's mansions that you've seen in the other towns you've visited, in terms of like size and structure. And you went in and walked into the front door, and all four of you like walked in there, and like immediately in the central hall there was like the staircase, and like right there in the center there were three women, and all three of them were like standing there and staring at you. And there was like an older woman, a middle-aged woman, and like a young woman, and they all looked at you and they said like, get out of here, the mother will not be pleased. And you all were like, all right, cool, and like you left.
All right, cool. We're out.
And then
We
you left.
killed their mother immediately after.
Tough.
Maybe they were under the creepy mother's thumb, and now they're going to be super happy that we freed them from it.
To be fair, she killed more of us than we killed of her. So
True.
It's true.
Yeah, Reese is just marching back over to the playpen with the human skulls in it.
yeah. Let's just go for a little walk.
Or
Well, like presumably at least Kane's following. He verbally agreed.
Yes.
yeah,
Do we want to bring the skull with us?
The dragon skull?
Yeah.
This thing's huge, right?
Kate
The-
had a plan for it.
moving the dragon skull is something that I believe I can do, but it's gonna be like we're ready to go, let's go kind of thing.
Yeah. We're just tying up loose ends, and then we're gonna hover this dragon skull on out of here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, describe to me what you're doing. You're walking.
I'm just
We're,
walking.
we're walking over to the mansion. We're gonna go check it out. I
You're
agree.
gonna go walk back over to like the old mansion, the ruins. Great.
Yeah,
All right, you get there.
we're gonna.
Hey, that was quick.
It takes a little bit of time. Maybe you're walking for like a good 10 minutes. And finally you find, this is on the south side of the village. This mansion sort of built on top of some higher ground. Lots of stone and rotting timber and kind of overgrownness. You can see like there's like weeds and things that are kind of growing all over the sides. And
Wait,
Yeah.
what role is Joel? Hermes will perform that action. The observer. Oh. Yes.
yeah, that ship has sailed.
What, did we already fuck something up?
No.
Oh, you said that ship has sailed.
No, yeah.
Okay. Ramesh is not going to knock because he learned a horrible lesson. And he's just gonna fucking open the door and come inside. Because Kane is close by and Zug and Syndra are also there.
Cool. So you get to the mansion, and you open the front door. And there's no one in here.
What in tarnation?
Yeah. Ramesh will.
I mean, that was also like yesterday. I just wanted to remind you guys.
Ramesh will just call out and say,
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
there are strangers in your home. We are looking around. Don't be alarmed. And then Ramesh is gonna start poking around. I am gonna sack this witch village for all it's worth because we don't
Great.
yeah,
We're looking
So-
for another luck stone.
Yeah, dude, we need at least 3 more.
Okay.
When
so
I
you-
hear, wait, really quick, when I hear Amis yell out, there are people in your house, we're gonna look around, Syndra's going to cast invisibility on.
Classic Syndra.
There are like Remiz is about like 3 people. I promise only 3 of us.
I will also remind the group.
As you can
Oh.
see, there are only 3 of us.
I will remind the group of one other detail,
Oh no.
which is when you first encountered these women that you were calling witches, but yeah, they're just women. They eyed all of the men skeptically,
Yes.
specifically.
They did not love that there were dudes encroaching on the grounds.
I mean, that's fair.
Mhm.
We don't look exactly like typical trustworthy dudes.
So
I don't even think I'd trust Syndra if I saw her. She's terrifying.
she's the least trustworthy looking.
She's also always trying to sneak around and hide herself.
So you guys enter in, and there's like broken walls, there's rotting remains of furniture and decor inside. And you can actually see out to like the back, because everything is kind of crumbled, that there's this like untamed garden running rampant in the back of the house. And then the pen has a few goats that are like out there. Yeah, there are goats in there, just like hanging out in the pen. And nothing stands out to you. Like there's no movement or anything going on that you can see right now. So finally, you guys search around, nothing of value that you find. You do find a staircase that goes down into presumably some kind of basement or cellar.
Oh, that door sound effect was perfect.
Yeah.
How spooky does the staircase look on a scale of like, I don't know, normal staircase at a school versus that staircase we went down in the death house?
It doesn't seem spooky, it just seems like old, rotted, decrepit, more than spooky.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll go downstairs and scope it out.
Syndra with invisibility goes down into the down the stone staircase. And there's a
Kane is gonna go, Syndra, could you go scout that out without realizing she's already gone? Syndra, where is she?
So there is a pretty intact cellar, but there is a lot. So like you lead down to the stairstone case, and you can see there's kind of like what looks like it's a cellar, but there's tons of rubble blocking the entrance, like tons. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all there is, like a caved in cellar kind of a thing? Okay. Could I investigate it for a weak spot? See if I could at least like look through to the other side?
Yes, you can try to like move some of the rubble, and you can like try to start clearing some of it, and you can push some of it to the side. But it's piled pretty high, and you get the sense like you can't really see much through it. You can kind of see that there's like an area that's supposed to be here, but the staircase is completely built in. So you'd have to like go get the rubble and like take it up the stairs and like clear it out to like get through.
Okay. Okay. I guess I will go back upstairs to my peeps. And I'll kind of mutter under my breath as I walk by Kane. Nothing down there. Caved in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Where did you go?
Now he's shaking.
Oh shit. What other avenues exist for us?
So the other places that you can go, because like, again, it's kind of opened up and cleared out. Some of the windows are like kind of smashed. So it just feels like a big open, like rotting space. So the areas you can kind of venture to. So the staircase was kind of on the right side. Nothing that you were able to find there, just a bunch of rubble. If you go straight back in the back of the house, that's where like there's a big overgrown garden. And then if you go left, so the left side of the house, that's where the goat pen is.
We were just here yesterday, right?
You were
Has
here,
it been a full day?
yeah, so you came here and saw them, and then like you went and like slept out in the suburbs.
Mhm.
And then you came back and like killed Baba.
While we're walking around, are there any signs of like someone being there that day that we can tell?
It definitely looks like people sometimes come here and like leave here, like
Okay.
like there's like kind of some paths that are more worn than others. But nothing that like indicates that someone was here today or yesterday or anything like that. There's like no beds, there's no like, looks like someone is living here right now.
Let's go check out those goat pens.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
investigate the goat pens.
You go out and investigate the goat pen. There are a few goats trapped behind the fence, and there are a bunch of human-looking skulls mounted on top of the fence posts. Weirdly, there's no gate to the fence. Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of goats with no gate and like human skulls.
Mhm.
Is there some kind of a check we could do to see if those are actually regular goats?
Perception check?
Nature
That'd
or
be
isn't
perception.
there animal handling?
Animal handling? Yeah.
Animal handling is for like, it's not for like noticing something, it's for like behavior. Yeah, I would say like perception probably.
Okay.
Like, is that a real goat?
Nat 20.
Those are fucking goats.
Really?
Wow.
Those are
In a
normal
pen with
ass
no
goats.
door lined with human skulls. Okay.
Those are regular ass goats. You get the feeling
Ass
that
goats.
you get the feeling that the goats are not the ones who have done this.
Ramiz goes up and
My
starts.
intuition is so strong, you guys.
Guys, these goats are definitely goats, and they did not put themselves in there.
You imagine that a human type thing probably put the goats in there. Yeah. And then
Great.
the goats are not part of this.
Cool. That's what my nat 20 got
That's
me.
what
All right.
Nat 20 tells you that these are regular ass goats.
I think this would just enter the pen and like.
There's no entrance.
Oh, there's no gate, as in like. I thought you meant it was like
entrance
just open.
to this pen. No,
Oh.
there's a wooden fence around it that's like 10 feet high and no
That's it.
entrance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's all that's happening here.
Yes. And then there's like the skulls on the top of those posts.
I remember the skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Is there a
Count
way
that-
we can
Count that there's about 9 goats in the pen.
Okay. Is there a way we can tell how old the skulls are? Or like, are they all men? Are they all women? Is there any way I could maybe figure that out?
You want to like go get one?
Sure.
I mean, they look like skulls from where you're standing. Not a lot more you can discern. Definitely look human or human-like.
Mhm.
Can you tell if they're male or female? Like, maybe if you were like a historian, like a archaeologist, I don't know. But otherwise, I actually have no idea if you can tell if skulls are male or female.
Okay.
But you can go and like get one if you want to examine it. Yeah, you could try to climb up and get one. It's 10 feet up.
I'll boost
Okay.
you.
I'll try.
All right,
Try
so
to check one
Doug's
out.
gonna boost you.
Huh?
Well, lift
Doug's
her
gonna
up.
boost you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Boost
Doug boosts Syndra, and Syndra goes and like grabs, like attempts to like grab one of the skulls from atop the posts. And as soon as you touch one, all of them suddenly begin to howl and scream.
I thought these were normal goats.
No, not the goats, the skulls.
Oh,
They're all just like,
Whoa.
and they keep screaming. All of
Okay.
Syndra,
And they
maybe
keep
step
screaming
away
even
from
when
the
my hand is
skulls.
taken away.
Did they stop?
No, they're still screaming.
Yeah. Put the skull back.
I didn't take it. I just poked it.
Unpoke it.
Let's get out of here. Reese turns towards the garden.
They continue to howl and scream for a full minute.
All right. Reese like
Okay.
plucks his ears. Like, oh, jeez.
Great.
So
And-
there's- sorry.
Lucky for you, all the scarecrows are dead.
That's the alarm.
Ah.
I have a feeling that might have set off Babala Saga as well, but she did.
And the goats are all like frantically like panicking at all this sound and noise.
Oh.
Those poor girls. Should we set them?
Yeah, but they can't
Sorry, yeah.
leave.
There was the garden, and that was it, right? No other places to go.
Yeah.
Show their garden.
Yeah, so there's a garden behind the ruin mansion. And as you like looking out into the garden, just kind of like looking out and observing what's out there, you notice kind of like behind some of the tall weeds and thorny vines, there are nude sculptures of very handsome men and beautiful women and some carved stone benches.
Nice.
Sick.
Do you want to like go out there and venture out into the garden?
Are the skulls still screaming?
It's been a minute now and the skulls have stopped screaming. They scream for a full minute.
Did they like die down slowly? It was like, "Ah!"
No, it was abrupt.
Okay. So we're like,
Yeah.
okay. Wait, venture out into the garden. How like thick is this
Pretty
garden?
thick.
So this is like obscured.
A bit, yeah.
Okay. I guess Ramis would like very cautiously proceed towards the garden. Can you like look around? Can you like peep? See if there's like, I don't know, like a skull that's gonna like jump out.
Yeah, I mean you can peep. So approaching with caution, let's have you roll a perception check as you venture a couple feet out into the garden.
Feet at a time. Let's go. Ramis, what is your perception, bro? Oh, it's decent. Oh, not so decent. 11.
You can see that a lot of the garden like is very overgrown, but there are like little pathways on the ground, and it looks like these pathways are being used by some kind of creature.
Like not feet.
No.
Maybe we should leave the garden. I am starting to have a feeling we like got the good treasure. But we can proceed. I'm just not going first.
I mean, if we want to take a look, I'm still invisible.
Oh,
We can just take a little gander.
Cool. So you proceed out into the garden and like start to look around. You see the same thing, some sculptures, a few benches, lots of weeds, lots of thorny vines that are pricking you along the way. And eventually you see the things that are like using these pathways. There's a bunch of snakes out here.
like just
Oh,
very large snakes.
Oh, didn't we fight
Okay.
snakes earlier in this adventure?
did.
Okay.
And they haven't seen you yet.
Cool. I'm gonna turn around and go back to the group and be like, it's we should get out of here.
I hate snakes.
Why does it have to be snakes?
All right.
Snakes did kind of get a little bit of the best of Syndra last time.
Just a bit.
I'm sorry I brought this here. I thought there might be something more worthwhile.
Yeah, you thought that like there might be people in here, and there are not.
People in treasure.
And maybe should.
Okay.
I mean, it's possible that there's treasure, but
wait. Oh, just like somewhere in the corners of the garden.
I mean, you haven't seen any like chests or anything like that. But like as far as you know about people in general, especially Barovians, they keep their valuables hidden away,
Guarded.
like in cellars.
No. But the cellar was the one that was like blocked.
It's pretty blocked.
It was.
It would probably take you guys many hours to clear out all the rubble.
Well, that's not too many hours.
Especially because we can say we do X. Fast forward to how many hours it takes.
Time travel.
True.
Could we just clear out a Syndra-sized hole in the rubble and then be good to go? I don't know.
How long ago did it look like the cellar had collapsed?
It's very hard to tell.
Okay.
Hmm.
But it
Yes.
wasn't like yesterday.
No,
Okay.
definitely been collapsed for like maybe a while.
Hey. The skull is my prize. It's got more.
Hermes is not
We've
interested.
got more pressing matters to attend to, no? I mean, I will help. If you want me to dig, I will dig, but
Up to you guys. If you don't think it's worth the time, then we can just go.
We got all the time in the world.
All the time.
all right, fine.
Do
Reese just like takes a wooden stake from his pocket and starts like poking.
Okay, so you guys are gonna try to clear out some of this rubble
I guess so.
Yeah.
and just like stay at this mansion for like an hour.
That's not too bad. I thought you meant like half a day. Yeah.
I mean, with all of you working together, the time will be proportionally, reduced. Great, and you're able to eventually clear out enough for Syndra to get through. Where you go down into this like 30-foot square room with mortared stone walls.
Oh my god, is there actually gonna be dope ass treasure down here?
There's about like a 10-foot high ceiling. There's a bunch of wooden beams. The floor is actually submerged under a few inches of stagnant water.
Nice.
The best kind of water.
That's what I like walking through.
Searching the cellar, you find a few dozen empty rotted casks from the Wizard of Wine's winery.
No.
And each and every one of those dozens of casks is labeled Champagne du Lestomp.
Oh, what a waste. What a
There is
waste.
nothing else down here.
There's empty
Dang
casks.
it.
Champagne.
A very expensive champagne.
God damn it. Just rubbish.
Yeah, so you guys just dug for an hour to find rotting casks. Yeah. Love it. Love
Could be
this.
So
worse.
there's
No.
it's
We
so
dug
it's
the cellar.
just
Uncover
What?
Yeah,
of the cellar.
you're not in the view anymore. You gotta come back.
Ejected.
As Ryan like gets more and more like detached from what is happening, like physically gets farther and farther away. Yeah.
I'm trying to get out of Joel's way, but I can't not.
Uh,
triangle.
So
Levitate the skull.
research wants to go back to the skull. Yeah.
Okay.
What do the rest of you want to do?
I mean, whether
So there's nothing for me to see in that cellar. Like I cannot find any little trap or hidey hole or anything like that.
Not really. Just looks like a boring cellar that's been crumbled in.
I guess we checked it out. We've done.
Not
I feel like
everything
we've-
is special.
Yeah, I feel like we've done our due diligence. If she wanted to give us something, she'd have done it. Let's prep for
I might
getting the
give you
hell
it,
out of
huh?
here.
Sounds good.
Let's prep for getting the hell out of here.
We always
Okay.
want more.
Okay. All right, so you guys leave the mansion. You don't see anyone along the way and eventually make it back to the hut. And once you arrive at the hut, you see two women are standing outside of the front of the hut, bent over Baba's body.
Get away from her. Hermes like starts stepping towards them.
They immediately like look up and like they eye you and like grimace. Like,
Is this gonna be like Red Dead Redemption 2, where it's like witness pops up in the corner and we're like, God damn, now we gotta kill more people.
Exactly. So they are not intimidated by our approach at all.
they're not intimidated by you. They look angry.
We have slain the Baba. You should
Yaga out of here.
not want to follow her fate.
So one of them looks at Remise and she like hisses you. This is not finished. And she grabs like the other woman and they like scatter off.
Do we want to try to stop them, or is that okay?
I'm not running through the bog.
No, I meant like as we tell that they're about to scatter. Like, do we want to try to stop?
Oh,
We should
I-
probably just get that skull and get out of here
All right.
yeah.
fast as humanly possible.
I'm not gonna throw my axe. I'll never be able to find it.
All right.
It's just in the water somewhere.
Yes. Let's get this skull and get out of here. We don't want more of these types coming and giving us any trouble.
Okay. So you said what you want to do is try to cast levitate
Levitate.
on the skull.
Levitate the skull. Yeah.
Okay, so when you levitate something, it can be levitated, it looks like up to 20 feet and remains suspended there for the duration. The target can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach.
So we can like levitate.
Yeah. So my thought is levitate it almost like it's sitting on a cart, essentially, right? And then we can pull it by wrapping ropes around it and tugging it while it's levitated.
Or just like grab onto a piece of skull, kind of push it along.
Yeah, you could do. I mean, whatever works. Get Zug behind it, pushing.
Yeah, probably.
Some of us in front pulling on ropes. One of us can grab a mandible.
But is it like anti-gravity? Would we even like
That is essentially what it is. It removes the weight of the object other than its mass for the purposes of moving. So there's no friction preventing it from moving because it's just floating in the air. And we just need to push it. And I figured that would be a good way to get it moving.
we can just like give it a little tap in the direction we're going and just like let it float along?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you should be able to like pull it. I I think it will require some exertion,
Sure.
but I think you
Oh my God, can we get those goats and like round them up, rope them up to the skull, and just like get some food and just put it in front of the goats and have the goats tug the skull? Oh my God, we'll give them freedom and we'll get value out of them. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
It's a twofer.
It's a twofer.
Ramis will summon his unseen servant to just like be our motor.
how much can unseen servant move?
Well, like, so if this is levitated, this is like basically like space physics, right?
It still has
Yeah.
mass, right? You still have to exert, but there's no friction on it other than air resistance.
But if
Get the
I'm
momentum up.
if I'm stuck to a static object like the ground and I exert any force,
Yes.
like, despite its mass, it will go somewhere.
Like imagine if I was on a set of wheels, like in a wagon,
Mm-hmm.
pulling me.
Or like a caster chair, something
There's
like that.
Still a lot of friction at play there.
Is it not more like an air hockey puck?
It's a lot more like an air hockey puck. Yes.
So I can just like exert very little force and that should still get going, right?
It just might not go fast because it said it conserved its mass, right?
Yeah.
Push it.
Who's our physicist? Who's our resident?
Yeah, I'm not a physicist. I don't know how these physics work.
That's why we got a DM to use whatever judgment
Physics.
necessary.
The power of yes or
Alright,
no.
I'll tell you, the unseen servant is not particularly strong, but it does have strength. Strength of 2. Which we looked up last time, and strength of 2 means you can actually carry a lot of weight.
Yeah, I think it's your strength times 20 pounds, right? Something like that is what you could pick up and move. You could maybe say that there's a massive modifier on how difficult it is to move something that's levitated.
Right.
Also, I could go further. I'd like to not continue to use magic to solve every problem, but
30 times your strength score. So
I was super 30 times your strength?
that's
There you go. It's even better than I thought.
so it's 30 times the strength of 2, babe.
That's pretty good. That's 60 pounds. You could pick up a suitcase. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that take you take a spell slot to use, or is that a cantrip?
It's a ritual.
Oh, it's a ritual? That's kind of cool. You should just have that thing carry your bag all the time.
Yeah, if it didn't require concentration, I probably would. I know, like, Ramis is like too lazy to do that. Too lazy to have someone else carry his bags.
A levitated creature target is not weightless.
No, it still
No,
So
has
nothing
mass.
about levitate prevents other creatures from pushing or pulling the target. However, the text of levitate says nothing about changing the target's weight. So any creature that wants to carry a levitating target around, either directly or via like a rope tether, would still be subject to the normal rules for carrying capacity and encumbrance, just as if they were to pick up and carry the target normally.
So this is saying
Are you is that post, and do you agree that something that's been levitated is the same difficulty to move as something that you have to physically pick up, and a portion of the energy your body is producing to move it is now fighting gravity? We've removed fighting gravity. All that matters is moving the mass of the object at that point.
okay, let's put it this way. Could the whole party be pushing on this skull? Can we move this?
Yeah.
I think if all of you were to like grab a rope tether and like try to pull it, like I think yes.
Okay.
It'll just take you a while. But I'm gonna say like if the whole party is like tethering this thing and like pulling it, or like maybe most of you are pulling it, like
Oh my gosh, fine. I'm going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to summon a phantom steed and we're going to strap it to the phantom steed. There. I've solved the problem with more magic.
That's pretty cool.
a phantom steed.
Yes.
Wasn't
We're
that-
familiar with this spell.
Yeah, we got that earlier in the campaign, right? Or yeah, let's phantom steed it.
It just it's a horse. I can actually summon more than one. It just reduces its duration, but I don't think we need more than one.
Phantom steed. And then we'll have my unseen servant like steer it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think it'd be way funnier if you guys like pulled and pushed it yourself.
Well, now that I know we have this phantom steed option, I think Remise would refuse. You like summon your fucking
You gotta be more comfortable being quicker with just saying yes or no about shit. Just tell us whether or not we're being dumb, and then we'll move past it.
I honestly don't know how the physics work of that. Like, I just don't know.
You don't have to know. That's why it's a virtual fantasy world where we can cast spells and do dumb shit.
When in doubt,
Just got to
magic.
follow your gut, which is essentially what everyone in the fucking world online is doing too, right? They're just, some people are more willing to post about their gut as though it were fact. And in reality, we're just a group of friends, and you should just be like, yeah, okay, or no, that sounds dumb. I don't want that to work in my world.
Okay. How much can a steed pull?
a horse lots.
Well, here, I'll read you
like a
the
horse-drawn
spell
carriage.
text. A
Okay.
large, quasi-real horse-like creature appears on the ground in an unoccupied space of your choice within range. You decide the creature's appearance, but it is equipped with a saddle, a bit, and a bridle. Any of the equipment created by the spell vanishes in a poof of smoke if it is carried more than 10 feet away from the steed. For the duration, you or the creature you choose can ride this steed. The creature uses the statistics for a riding horse, except it has a speed of 100 feet and can travel 10 miles in an hour, or 13 miles at a fast pace. When the spell ends, the steed gradually fades, giving the rider 1 minute to dismount. The spell ends if you use an action to dismiss it, or if the steed takes any damage.
So at this point, it's like a horse-drawn carriage.
Yes, essentially that's what we've created.
Yeah, I feel a horse could carry 500 pounds.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not carrying 500 pounds. It's just pulling it. And you could stick a 300-pound man on top of a horse and it would be fine.
Yeah, and if this carriage had wheels, which is effectively what Levitate is doing.
Right.
Yeah, I think a horse could pull. the levitate.
Just so you know, a riding horse's stats are 16 strength.
That's some carrying capacity. That's pretty high.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let this happen.
Yes! We're dragging the skull.
Hey, we solved a problem in less than half an hour,
Wait, wait,
guys.
what? Can we know at some point like what the campaign wanted us to do to get the skull out of here? Is there like some character we're supposed to like convince to help us get the fucking thing out?
I'll tell you later. So you great. Great. So you eventually make your way out. So if you head north to exit the bog. As you guys are traveling north of Berez and trying to leave the ruins, you actually can hear all of you like have a moment where the sky gets a little cloudy and gray, more cloudy and gray than usual, and you
Oh.
hear the sounds of battle.
Battle.
Yeah, but the fog grows so thick that you can barely see more than 50 feet in any direction. And suddenly, all around you, the fog takes the form of soldiers on horseback that are charging across the field. And they collide with armor pike bearers wearing devil horn helms. And as each soldier falls in battle, it turns into fading mist. Hundreds more soldiers collide in a storm of screams and clashing metal.
Wait, this is like an illusion?
No, you are seeing all of this happen around you. Fog soldiers riding horseback emerge and start clashing. And like you hear the sounds of battle as if it's going on. It seems like an illusion, but like you see it.
Wait, okay. But they're made of fog. And they're like when they're clashing, they're like
Mhm.
dissipating back into fog.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then suddenly you also hear a thunderous roar overhead. And a few seconds later, a huge silver mist fog dragon glides over your heads, dispersing enemy soldiers with each flap of its mighty wings. You can even see made out of the silver mist, there is a long reptilian tail that slices through the air above you as the dragon carves a swath through the fog. And you get to see right past it a glimpse of the dark mansion of Argynvost Holt overlooking the valley.
Mm.
As you're pulling the skull back to the house.
So this was like the final battle of like Argynvost Holt getting like killed by Strahd, right?
You're seeing visions of what looks like some sort of battle that took place here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll go ahead and pause there for tonight. As you guys are climbing out of the bog up to the hill upon which Argynvost Holt stands.
Nice.
Woo.
Damn.
All right. So to recap with everyone, lots of things happened today. So firstly, we still have to make sure that we figure out some leveling stuff. We want to start some spells and things like that. We can definitely do that next time. You guys all summoned Jenny. And Jenny appeared. Jenny looked very startled and horrified by what was going on. You helped her untether her sister from this hut. And Jenny was able to like use some of her potions to help heal her sister. And you guys were able to help her pry her off of this ceiling and take the rods out of her. And she was like passed out as far as the last time that you interacted with her. Yeah, very like horrific, lots of scars, wounds. You have no idea how long she was there for. Lots of unanswered questions. Additionally, you were able to free some ravens, and you found an old friend, Elvir, who was trapped after he had come looking for the seed that his father suspected that Baba had stolen the seed, and that was a correct suspicion. And Elvir came here looking for it because the lands are going dry. His family is not making any money. All the people are sad and like dreary, and just it's all going to shit. So he came here trying to be a hero. Immediately, Baba was able to capture him, and he's been there for who knows how long, but he was very thankful that you guys let him free. He took the seed. You guys gave him the seed that you had found, and he told you you'd be flying it back to his winery to start to regrow some of the grapes and get the lands lush once more. You also looted the house and Baba. You found that Baba was holding on to an old portrait of a young boy, and you also found a bunch of treasure inside of the house, as well as some creeping, crawling claws. And you got a bunch of loot. That was pretty cool. You went over to the mansion, explored the mansion a little bit. You found a really creepy goat pen and lots of screaming skulls. You left the goats there. Who knows what's going to happen to them, you guys?
Oh shit.
Left the goats.
I thought it was going to be really funny to get the goats involved with moving the skull. Just
I think
FYI.
like 9
Sorry
goats.
about that.
Maybe could have done it. I don't
Sorry,
know.
guys, sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, 9 goats with like 2 strength? Hell yeah.
I don't know if they have 2 strength. Goats have to have more than 2 strength, right?
What you
I
think
I would think so.
stronger than my unseen servant?
Goat?
Just regular goat. Oh yeah, look, there's a stat block. They have 12 strength. Goats
Well,
are
I
fucking
told
ripped.
you, like, there's no way they have
Like
2
12
strength.
is like that's stronger than me.
Well, I mean, yeah,
It's a fucking
dude.
mountain.
You're not exactly like a pillar of
No, that is so
strength.
fucking
I'm
strong.
not exactly a goat.
You're not exactly a goat, dude.
9 goats definitely could.
Yeah, like 2 goats could carry it better than a horse could. That makes what the fuck? All right.
Strong goat.
Well, it sounds like they would have killed us if we had tried to like rally them. 12 strength goats could have wiped our whole party.
Whatever. We could have talked to the goats. Someone's got to talk to animals, right?
Go.
Anyways, a bunch of skulls screamed at you for a while. You decided to not go out into the garden because there were snakes in that bitch. You cleared out a cellar only to find a bunch of old, rotting, expensive wine casks. Such a disappointment. You came back to find some women huddled around Baba's body, and they ran off. You kind of scared them, it seemed, but they seemed a little vengeful, but they did leave. And then you summoned a horse to pull a levitating giant dragon's skull up to Ardenvost Holt. Yeah. Cool. And let's talk about plans for our next encounter.
Next encounter plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the song we always sign off with, remember?
We need you to actually have a lute to like make some music along with that sign off.
You did get some bags of haunting, pipes of haunting.
I like thinking of just bags of on.
That's a different item, okay?
Bags.
Bags of haunting would be a cool like flavor item where like 1d4 times a day you can reach into the bag and pull out something random, creepy, and
Some
useless.
creepy random oh, look at fucking loves this. Oh my god.
That is pretty good.
Just pull out.
It's like a D20 and decides what comes out of it.
See, that's a fucking great item idea.
I actually do love this item idea.
The real funny part about it is that you'd never see anything go back in the bag, and it doesn't look like it has anything in it, but you keep pulling shit out of it.
Mary Poppins bag, yeah.
Yeah.
The Mary Poppins spooky bag of haunting. Okay. Plans for next time. What is our group intention?
Dragging that skull.
Carry back
Yep,
the
yep.
skull.
Going back to the talking to the silver dragon ghost thing, right? What was that? I vaguely remember a big ghost
Godfrey?
dragon that wanted the skull.
Ardenvost, yeah.
Yes, Iron Boss. There you go.
Yeah, something about a skull, something about a thing. Actually, you talked mostly to Sir Godfrey, if you remember him, who was like the most intact of all of the knights that you met there, the Revenant knights that you met there. Okay, and what else? Is that like if you are to like fulfill that and deliver a dragon skull, what is your next agenda item as a group? Maybe
Rest.
Resting.
Yeah, I need to rest bad.
Rest, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like out of spell slots now.
I'm
Keep
out
in
of
mind,
hell
resting takes
slots.
0 minutes for me to prep for. So what I am looking for with this is what are the things I need to prep
Okay,
for?
long rest then.
We're heading back there, and then depending on what you maniacally have planned for us bringing the skull back for that, you might want to be ready for that shit. And then I
I'll be
know
ready for
that
my benign plans. Yeah.
I know that we never get anything done, so that's probably more than enough. Though it would be cool to have like, oh, what's the next tick box that we want to go do, just in case that goes smoothly and without hassle. We could go deal with Yesterhill. Don't know how spooky or dangerous that is, DM. Maybe you can make sure we don't go murder ourselves, but that could be a thing we do. We also have to go. Don't we still have to go back to? Who sent us down here? Was it Order of the Silver Dragon that sent us down here, or have we not gone to see them yet?
That's where
Yeah,
That's who sent us down here, right?
yeah, it was that Revenant dude, right?
Yeah,
He's like,
so-
you better go do that.
Maybe
else.
depending on how things go with the Dragon Skull thing, we may or may not want to hit the Silver Dragon area before we go doing anything else.
Those are
That
the
is
same
the
thing.
same spot.
Yeah. Those
Oh, okay, perfect.
Argenvost
So-
Holt is home of the Order of the Silver Dragon.
Okay, there we go then.
Definitely got to do that, but okay. But assuming that doesn't set us on our next objective.
You said we were by the winery and stuff, right? Would
You
it
are.
be too early for
are?
us to look for that second seed?
That's
So I think that's
Yesterhill.
what, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what Nathan was talking about. So the hill, Yester Hill, is like a druidic area that that like Davian is suspicious that the druids took their other gem, which
Okay.
seems likely considering that they were literally there at the winery, like fucking shit up. So yeah, you could go to Yester Hill and see what's what over there and see if there's a way for you to recover another gem.
We may also want to just hit up leaving a note for Ez to let her know what we did and how things are going and where we're going next, just so that, you know, there is some semblance of this is where we are.
Yeah.
And maybe check on, oh, what is her name? The woman that looks like that she's like
Irina?
yeah, Irina. Yeah. Just check up on her and make sure she's not in any trouble.
Dead.
Dead. Yeah, we are technically supposed to be making sure that she's not dead. Maybe check up on her too.
Yeah.
Those are my ideas, though. If anybody else has anything they want to add,
That sounds good to me. Sounds like a good itinerary.
cool.
Was there anything more from the Mad Mage? It just turned out you two were buddies, and we're like, oh, sweet, thanks for the advice, bro.
The things I remember specifically is that he didn't have his spell book thing, and so he was like dealing with that. He said that he would help us, but he's not going to come. He's not just going to come sauntering along with us. Makes sense. I don't think Danny would want a super mage with the party all the time. Also,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that. Then I'd look like shit.
Yeah, he gave you a lot of information. There were a few things that he told you about. He talked to you about the key to. Do you guys remember talking about like the?
Oh, Amber something?
He said something about the Amber Temple.
Oh yeah. Amber Temple.
The Amber Temple like holds a lot of information and has like a really big library, but might be treacherous and scary. You also remember in your card reading that you had that there was something about something down there as well. So there's just like a few hooks into that area too.
I think we'll take care of that after we tap some of these. These other loose ends feel like lower hanging fruit, to be honest.
It'd be nice to get another stone in the old winery department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vineyard.
Yeah, finding those gems and getting the winery back up and going is probably going to change the landscape of the towns that you guys are visiting. So okay,
Okay,
cool.
create allies for us
Cool.
in the future too. If they
Yeah, you
know
guys
we-
are already doing that. Like you're creating some allies already, so could be helpful.
We're starting a network.
Yeah, and okay, so great. That's enough. I think I can help tug things along. Now, you asked me earlier if there was like something that you were supposed to do for the skull, right?
Yeah.
No, I had no idea what you guys were gonna do to get this skull out.
Good. Then we did it perfectly.
I had nothing planned. I actually was telling Joel earlier about that. I was like, yeah, they have to like get this giant 500-pound skull like out of this bog. And I was like, I have no idea what they're gonna do. Like, I'm gonna let them figure it out.
Well done, Kane.
I had zero plan for that. There was no correct way. It was totally open-ended for you guys to come up with a great solution. Okay, and I will see you guys later.
See you guys.
We're gonna go eat
Good
pizza.
night.
Grab some pizza.
Goodbye. Good night.
night.
Have
Good
fun.
night.